Welcome back to GDT Tech Reviews. In this video we are going to do a detailed review and pick the top 5 best Nikon cameras, 2022. So let us get started and the review based on our studies and small research. If you have any personal suggestion, do let us know in the comment section. If you are for the first time, don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon for more videos. We will be also providing affiliates link to purchase from Amazon. Kindly use to for best offers and purchase from anywhere in the world. So let's get started. The Nikon Z50 is the first generation Z-mount DX mirrorless camera with an APS-C sensor. Announced on October 10, 2019, together with two compact DX lenses specifically designed for the camera, the Nikon Z50 packs many attractive features, putting it above entry-level DSLRs like Nikon D3500 and D5600. With its price point of $860 MSRP, it competes head-to-head with other mirrorless options on the market such as the Sony a6400, Fuji X-T30, and Canon EOS M6 Mark II. I had a chance to test the Nikon Z50 with the two DX lenses during the past 3 months of traveling in the US and the Middle East, so this review reflects extensive shooting experience in the field. Sporting a 20.9 MP DX sensor, fast phase detection autofocus system, 11 fps continuous shooting speed, ability to record high-quality 4K video at up to 30 fps without any crop, full HD slow motion at up to 120 fps, and a compact, lightweight construction with great body build and ergonomics, the Nikon Z50 is certainly a serious camera to consider for new and existing Nikon shooters. The two Z-mount DX lenses launched with the camera, the Nikon ZDX 16-50mm VR and the Nikon ZDX 50-250mm VR are both attractive choices for those who want to keep their camera kit small and lightweight, but for those who want more lens options, there are plenty of excellent Z-mount full-frame lenses already available, as well as older Nikon F lenses, both DX and FX, using the FTZ adapter. While testing out the camera, I purposefully limited myself to only the two DX kit zoom lenses the camera came with, so that I can demonstrate their capabilities and see if they are sufficient for most day-to-day needs of photographers. The Nikon Z6 II is an updated version of the company's 24MP multimedia full-frame mirrorless camera. It gains more processing power to add improved autofocus and a few other tweaks to an already well-rounded feature set. Nikon says the autofocus performance has been incrementally improved over the original Z6, but the most notable feature change is the addition of face and eye detection, both human and animal, to the wide area AF mode. Previously these features were only available in auto area AF, meaning the camera decided where to focus. By adding them to wide area, you are able to narrow down the region in which that camera hunts for faces, giving you a way of pre-selecting the face you wish to focus on. The Z6 II's maximum burst speed tops out at an impressive 14 frames per second, but only if you use a single AF point and you're willing to shoot JPEGs or take the slight dynamic range hit of shooting 12-bit RAWs. If you want the camera to choose an AF point or track a subject, it shoots at a still very respectable 12 frames per second. The Z6 II builds on the Z6's already pretty strong video feature set, with the promise of UHD 4K 60p support in a free firmware update due in February 2021. This higher rate footage will come from an APS-C crop of the sensor, and will only be available for internal capture. In addition, the camera's video output options have been expanded, with the Mark II able to output 10-bit HLG HDR footage, in addition to N-Log, to an external recorder. An optional paid upgrade enables a 12-bit line-skipped 4K RAW stream can be sent to an external recorder to be encoded as ProRes RAW or, after a February 2021 firmware update, as Blackmagic RAW. Line skipping means less detail, more noise at higher ISOs and greater risk of moire. The Nikon D780 is a 24-megapixel DSLR capable of shooting 12 frames per second in live view and uncropped 4K video at 30 fps. It brings many of the newest live view features from the mirrorless Nikon Z6 to a Nikon DSLR for the first time, including on-sensor phase detection pixels. As the third in a series of very impressive Nikon DSLRs, specifically, the D700 and D750, Nikon had big shoes to fill with the D780. Both of its predecessors were excellent cameras, and still are great cameras today, even the D700 with just 12 megapixels. Everything on the video side of things is completely new. The D780 shoots very high quality video, oversampled 4K with no crop, as well as 1080p video at 120 fps. Not to mention 10-bit N-Log capabilities when shooting over HDMI. At the time of this article's publication, the D780 is Nikon's best DSLR for video, though the upcoming D6 is likely to at least match it. Only the Z6 and Z7 mirrorless cameras have slightly better video features overall, thanks to their in-body image stabilization and electronic viewfinder. Beyond the video side of things, you may notice a couple other intriguing specifications in the list above. One of the more notable ones is the shutter speed range, which maxes out at a whopping 900 seconds, 15 minutes. Aside from specialized astrophotography DSLRs, it's simply unheard of to have such long pre-programmed manual shutter speeds. This is an exciting and useful addition on Nikon's part. The Z6 II still has a 45.7 MP full-frame BSI sensor, but it's now backed up by dual processors compared to the single processor in its predecessor. The exterior of the camera is largely unchanged, which is fine by us. Nikon's Z series cameras offer some of our favorite ergonomics on the mirrorless camera market. Blessedly, though, especially for those of us that moderate online comment sections, Nikon has included dual card slots in the Z6 II for users that need immediate backup or want to easily separate their still images and video clips. New AF modes have also been added and are accessible in the main and eye menus. They include the addition of face, eye detection in the wide area AF mode instead of just auto area AF semicolon. This means you can place an AF box over a person's face to tell the camera to focus on that particular person's eyes, which is especially handy if there are multiple people in a scene. An equivalent mode is available that prioritizes animals. For video, the Z6 II is rather more competent than its predecessor, and now includes 4K/60p capture with a slight, 1.08x, crop. It will also output 10-bit N-Log or HDR, HLG, footage to a compatible external recorder, and you can output raw video in 1080p if you're using the full sensor and 4K if you're using a cropped APS-C-sized region. We'd expect good video quality, but hardcore video shooters should set their sights on the Z6 II and its oversampled 4K video, which should offer much better fine detail. And of course, there's those dual card slots. One supports CF Express, Type B, and XQD cards, and the other is a UHS-2 compatible SD slot. The Nikon D850 is Nikon's latest high-resolution full-frame DSLR, boasting a 46MP backside illuminated CMOS sensor. But, in a fairly radical departure for the series, it is also one of the company's fastest-shooting DSLRs. This combination of properties should significantly widen the camera's appeal to high-end enthusiasts as well as a broad range of professional photographers. The use of a backside illuminated, BSI, sensor means that the light collecting elements of the sensor are closer to the surface of the chip. This should not only increase the efficiency of the sensor, improving low light performance, but should also be expected to make the pixels near the edges of the sensor better able to accept light approaching with high angles of incidence, improving peripheral image quality. The D850 has gained a more usable electronic front curtain shutter option, EFCS, which can now be used quiet shutter modes, as well as live view and mirror up mode. To get the full benefit, though, you need to turn on exposure delay, which has had 2 sub-second delay settings added. However, exposure delay persists across all shooting modes. Thankfully, and presumably thanks to a redesigned shutter and mirror mechanism, mirror/shutter shock doesn't seem to be much of an issue, even without engaging EFCS. The D850 has no anti-aliasing filter, which should allow for slightly finer detail capture but with added risk of moire, if any of your lenses are sharp enough to out-resolve a 45.7 MP full-frame sensor. There's still no sign of the clever design Nikon patented, so, unlike the Pentax K1 or Sony RX1 or 2, you can't engage an anti-aliasing effect if you do find false color appearing in densely patterned areas. The D850's 45 megapixels allow it to compete directly with the higher pixel counts of the Canon EOS 5 DSR, Fujifilm GFX 50S and Pentax 645Z.